So since you mentioned hardcore, let's go back and talk about how you got involved in the New York hardcore scene back then.
Well, oddly enough, I didn't start in New York City, though I was born in New York. Lived there the first 5, 6 years of my life, and moved out to Florida. And with my parents, my dad got a really kick-ass job down there, and then fortunately, my parents got divorced. I ended up moving back up north and ended up moving to Pennsylvania because we just couldn't afford to live in New York. So I grew up in Pennsylvania from you know kid to about late teenager, and that's where I got into the punk scene there, where I was living. I was living in a place called Allentown, which is in the Lehigh Valley area. And there was a kick-ass punk scene there in the mid '80s, and luckily, I found my tribe of people and met other kids that played, bass, guitar, had other people that played instruments, and then just created a band from there, and then went from there. I was about 14, 15. I was in this band called Youthquake. It was my first band. Totally fast punk hardcore, like RKL, MDC, like that kind of fast hardcore. Um, and then from there, I ended up coming to New York a lot, just going to see shows and meeting a lot of people. And I lived in Philadelphia for a little while before moving back to New York, and then ran into some people that knew guys in Nausea. I've met Nausea before I was joining the band, and then I got wind that they needed a drummer. I ended up moving to New York, and joined the band, and the rest is history from there. There's a lot of there's a lot more shit in between 14 and 18 years old, but it's just take me forever to explain it all. But yeah, that's basically how it went. I
Okay.
went Allentown, Philly, back to New York, joined Nausea, made an album. That one right behind you.